Okay, hello everyone, good evening. Hope you are well and welcome to round 7, so the penultimate round of season 3 of the Zwift Racing League. You are watching the Loughborough Lightning, the Recruitment Group live YouTube stream, and I am Travis Bramley and I'm joined by Matt Ellis. How are you doing tonight, Matt?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Excited for tonight as always. A bit more Zwift action. Team time trial night. Should be a good race.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. For those of you who perhaps haven't looked ahead at the schedule, tonight is a team time trial, the third one of the series, and we are in Watopia tonight for the second time in the series on the Magnificent 8 course. Our girls, we have got 6 riders, so the full rider lineup this evening. Which of course is extremely important for a team time trial, and Loughborough Lightning, the Recruitment Group, are off in just under 2 minutes at 26 minutes past 7. Would you like to talk us through the course a little bit tonight, Matt?
Yeah, so the 28.8 kilometre course is mostly flat. However, around about 8 kilometres in, there is a short climb, a reverse KOM, which could be quite significant in this race tonight. If you drop riders early on that climb, it could be quite detrimental on the 15-20 kilometres. So it could be quite tactical coming into this race. So 500 metres start, and there's a slight incline after about a kilometre, up and down, and then 6.1 kilometres in is the start of the climb. So 900 metres, peaking at 12%. And it continues on for another 1.2 kilometres before a fast descent, a good chance to get a breather, and then 12.3 kilometres, mostly flat, around the desert, before a short 900 metre drag out of the desert, and then 6.2 kilometres around to the finish. So really this course, you can split it up into 3 or 4 sectors, and yeah, it's quite an interesting course for a team time trial.
Yeah, sounds like it could be a tricky one to pace, that's for sure. As the girls are just setting off there, we are on board with Hannah. Nicely together, Hannah putting up just under 8 watts per kilo there, so yeah, nice and hard, nice and fast off the line. Be interesting to see how quickly they manage to get into that advantageous streamlined position as we just jump on the back there. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 riders there, so Meg and Flora are slightly off the back at the moment, but quickly looking to make contact. So there we go.
Yeah, looks like they've got off to a decent start. They've all got together pretty quickly, which is very important in Zwift. You can lose, 5-10 seconds at the start really easily, but it seems like the riders have got up to speed. They've gone under the banner now, and they're starting this little drag before the first climb after 7 kilometres.
Yeah, so I guess it's pretty important not to get too carried away on this first little drag here, especially if you're all caffeinated up and pinging and ready to go. I suppose you can quite easily burn a few too many matches here, that's for sure. I know I have done before. But as you can see on your screens there, on the right hand side, we are around a minute behind the KCA1 team, so they are currently seeded 3rd in this team time trial. We are seeded 2nd, and the Rocker Corba cycling team are seeded 1st. So keep an eye out on the right hand side of the screen. We want those numbers to come down for both teams at the moment, so we are about on target at the moment, but we don't want to see the Rocker Corba riders we don't want to see the Rocker Corba riders bringing down the advantage to below a minute, so we want that to push out as far as possible.
Yeah, I'm looking at the times already, and this to the Rocker Corba team. It's gone out to 1 minute 13, 1 minute 14 seconds. I'm not sure what's happened there. It's jumped about 20 seconds pretty quick, so hopefully the times will update. I'll try and keep the live Zwift power up, see if I can get some live data. It looks like it's working a bit tonight, so that's good. As I said, good start. It looks like coming round over the first drag into what I call the wiggly bit, very up and down and twisty. Quite easy to lose contact here. before we go over the bridge, through the Italian villas, and to that climb, as I've said before.
Yeah, we're going past one of my favourite parts in the Whippier course. I don't know how many, and whether you've ever done it, Matt, but there's an achievement you can unlock for doing 100 laps of the volcano. That was one of my proudest achievements on Zwift so far.
100 laps of volcano?
Oh yeah. I don't know how many hours it took, but...
I thought 25 laps was bad.
Yeah, it gets pretty hot after a while.
I thought you'd like the Alp travels.
Oh, no, the Alp's certainly not suited to riders like myself who are carrying a little bit more power, shall we say? I think, yeah. But luckily, tonight's course is fairly flat, as you said, with the exception of the KOM, which comes just over 8 kilometres in. But yeah, I think with this kind of course, and I hope it will suit the riders from Loughborough Lightning, the recruitment group tonight as well.
Yeah, so I didn't realise they were going around the volcano, so I apologise. They're going around the volcano first. It's quite a fairly simple section. As you go through, you can see the inside here. Have you seen, Travis, as well? I know what I was going to say. There's a new map coming onto Zwift very soon. Maybe in the next week or two. Which is...
I haven't seen that.
It could be quite exciting for some races coming up.
I'm sure that will feature in either in the playoffs at the end of the series or in season 4, that's for sure.
Yeah, I believe it might be Tokyo, but I'm not 100% sure. But from the teasers I've seen, it could be Tokyo for the Olympics.
Nice bit of action on Mount Fuji then.
Yeah, it could be quite an interesting map. That it could be a good mix of some Japanese climbs and some nice flat scenic areas around Tokyo.
Yeah, when I think of Tokyo, I think of it could be quite similar to the skyline in New York. I know how many of you joined us for week 3 when we raced the New York City Com after party course. But yeah, I can imagine it being like that with lots of neon lights and cool skyscrapers.
Lots of bamboo and stuff like that as well. Yeah.
But on that course in New York, of course, there were 3 power-ups available. So I think if I'm right in remembering, I think there was the Arrowhead power-up, the Burrito, and the Feather. But of course, because today is a team time trial, there are no power-ups allowed. Because that would wreak havoc with the order of the group if one rider ends up getting an aero power-up and speeding away from the rest. So probably best that the power-ups are disallowed in this round.
Yeah, there's no power-ups in the team time trials. It doesn't really give much of an advantage. I think none of the riders have them. It's okay, but as you've seen in other races, sometimes obviously if you're going for a climb and you get an aero power-up, you're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage to someone that's got the feather.
Well, we are 4 kilometres in, or just over 4 kilometres in, and yeah, I think we would. Looking at the gaps on the right hand side there, as long as they are reliable, I think they're going like an absolute train at the moment. So they've put 10 seconds into the KCA1 team, as potentially expected. I think if we've learned anything from season 3 of the Zwift Racing League, is that our team, Loughborough Lightning, the recruitment group, and Rock Corba are by far the 2 strongest teams in this league. But actually, it looks like we put almost 30 seconds into the Rock Corba cycling team, and we haven't even done 5 kilometres yet. So hopefully, those numbers are right on the right hand side. But we can jump back and have a look at them in a minute.
Yeah, what you could do is pick a point on the road and then time it from where the team behind go past it. That could work to get accurate time gaps. But yeah, so it's looking good. 10-11 seconds up on the Kashmir cycling team and around 28-30 seconds up on the Rockall cycling team. As you know, the team are currently 2nd in the league, so a win here would be very important, and it would make it interesting coming up to the final round next week. Could be all to play for into the final round.
Yes, we're actually trailing Rock Corba cycling team by 3 points in the league. So we've got 113 points. Rock Corba have got 116. So that's as a result of a bit of a subpar performance last week, unfortunately. So we only came 4th last week, so we got 16 points for that round, whereas Rock Corba got 19. But until then, I thought I'd just run through the round by round results. So in week 1, we started off with a bang with a win. Week 2, followed that up as well with another win. We were consistent with 3 second places in a row, and then as I mentioned, round 6, bit of a subpar performance, coming in 4th, gaining us 16 points. So ideally, what we need here is for Loughborough to have a bit of an off day, but by the looks of things, we are well on track to do that. Of course, can't control what the other team's doing. Can only give it the best shot they can.
Yeah, last week was quite an interesting race. Obviously, we didn't stream it, but it was around the Champs-Élysées, so the Paris circuit. There was a lot of points on offer in the sprints, a lot of points for intermediate sprints, so it was quite a difficult one to win. Probably the hardest one, I'd say, just because of how tightly packed it was, and how many sprint points there were. Really, I think it was 5 laps. There was a sprint every lap at the end of the Champs-Élysées.
Sure.
As we're looking now, we come into the Italian villas, so we'll soon be starting the first KOM point, as we've taken another 10 seconds off the Kirchmere cycling and added another 10 seconds onto Loughborough. So far it's all looking good. Obviously still around 23 kilometres to go, and arguably the hardest part of this course coming up in around 1 kilometre's time.
All still to play for, that's for sure. Just on board with Hannah at the moment. She looks to have just broken off the front of the rest of the 5 riders a little bit here, so maybe just for the rest of the riders to make an effort, or actually coming down this descent, it should naturally all come back together again. Just a reminder, we're around 2 kilometres out from the main climb in the course.
Yeah, so I'll just run through what this climb is. So it's the reverse KOM. So you head over the bridge, and
The bridge
it starts off with, yes, the bridge you're on now, and it rises up to around about 12% for a couple of 100 metres for levelling off, kicking up again. Then a short descent where it goes round to the right, and then a sweeping left-hander. And then it's around 5 to 6% all the way to the top. And then gradually goes down, and then a steep 12% descent before looping back around under the bridge and around towards the desert, which is the very, very flat part of the course, as I know that there to get the kilometres up.
That's for sure. Yeah, I think, sorry to interrupt you, Matt, but actually, so Hannah and Chloe, it would look like they've broken off, and actually they've got a decent gap